All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the live well here at Fish North Georgia. Hope you guys are doing good this Thursday night. We appreciate you watching. Of course, if you're watching at a later date, we love you too. But got a great show in store for you today. We got Skeeter Crosby in the house. We're going to be talking a little bit about his tournament life, what's going on with him and that. We're going to talk about what the bass are biting right now. Hopefully, we can figure out a way for you guys to catch more fish. So, see a few of you guys over there in the comment section, and as other guys will be joining us. Make sure you bring your questions and your comments and whatever you want to ask Skeeter tonight. And we're going to pick his brain, see if we can kind of catch more bass. That's the goal of everything. Father Time's in the house. Tim McGuire is joining me right there. Real quick, hey, this Saturday, Lake Notley, you can sign up the morning of. We got the Union County Chamber of Commerce tournament that all of us guys are going to be fishing. Got a lot of side bets going on and stuff like that. But if you're not doing nothing, come up there and join us, fish against us. It's for a good cause. Again, it's Devers Ramp, Tim. We're
So
signing up
yeah, Deaver Ramp.
the Devers Ramp and all that. So it'll be a good time. And the weather's going to be nice. The bass, I bet you, will be on bed. We might talk about that a little bit, but a lot of good stuff going on. Plus, they got raffles and everything to help raise money for Fishers of
I think
Hope.
it's guaranteed 1,500 first place, 500 big fish.
Well, we're gonna win it anyway. So
Right. Yeah.
Rob and I'll be walking off with $1,500. Whatever the hell the rest of you guys get, it is
We're
what it
gonna
is.
bum gas money so we can get back to the house. Have you seen Diesel?
Yeah,
Jeez,
yeah.
I need a loan just to get gas to go up there, but it's gonna be a good time. So if you're not there, come at the weigh-in. I think the weigh-in is at three-ish, something like that. But you also can buy some raffle tickets for that Browning safe, that gun safe. Just all kinds of good stuff going on. So anyway, how do I get my gift I won, Patricia Lee Shaw? Did he win last week's?
Yes.
Well, nobody told me, so I'll figure it out.
Yeah, she won last week, I think, wasn't it?
Hell, I won't know. Y'all did the show. I was out, so we will figure it out. I mean, listen. You think if I'm off and gone, you guys could handle it, right? But I guess not. Now I'm just playing with it.
She's got
So
to
anyway,
come fish. If she'll come fish the tournament Saturday, we'll give it to her.
yeah, we'll give it to
She'll,
you.
she'll get it on a wing and a prayer.
Well, what prize did you give away? If I be, I don't even know what you got. What'd you give
Well,
away?
Tony was in charge of that.
Okay, I'll figure it out for you, Patricia Lee Shaw. We'll get you your prize and all that. Anyway, Skeeter, sorry we went a little long right there. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, man. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Absolutely. It's we're very thankful that you decided to join us. You've been on the water today. So
Oh yeah.
real quick, where were you fishing today and what are the bass doing?
Went out on Santee. Spent a lot of time out there last week. Obviously, that's the home pond. Had some pretty good results last week. We got the full moon come in last night. Everything's warmed up good. We don't see any cold fronts coming, so they're going to where we want them to go. It's definitely has been, we already have one big spawn for sure. We typically have about 3 spawns through the spring here on Santee. As I always say, it's like our rut and deer hunting. We have that trickle rut and there's a trickle spawn. And we got another wave of them starting to pull up. Went out there today, looked at a bunch of them. Just, the thing right now on Santee is over the last couple of years, we've gotten all this hydrilla and eelgrass on Santee, and we haven't had that in years. So now, I mean, it's gin clear. I mean, I say it's probably clearer than Lanier is. I've only been to Lanier twice, and it is unreal. You could be in 10 foot of water and see straight to the bottom.
Really?
So it's, those bigger fish are harder to find on beds now because they're out deeper. But it's definitely, it's looking like it's going to be a showdown this Saturday. They got a big team tournament up there that a local club, I think it's Creekside Bassmasters, they put on every year. They typically have about 120 teams, and it's a big deal every year. So I'm probably going to jump in. I haven't decided yet. I've been fighting off these allergies and fighting with this tennis elbow from last week. So we'll see. I'm going to go back out there tomorrow and run some new water, see what else I can find. And if I can put a game plan together to put about 30 pounds on, then I'm going to jump in it.
Did y'all hear what he said? 30 pounds? Did anybody catch that? If you can figure out how to put 30 pounds on. All right, let me ask you this, because we're North Georgia. Lanier is that's the engine that runs the ship around here. We talk about Santee every so often. Clark's Hill, all those lakes over in that area. We don't talk about them near enough. For somebody around here who's not familiar with Santee, kind of just describe it to them, kind of what the fishing is. Is it mostly largemouth? Y'all got spots? What all you got going on over there?
So you know, there's a big misconception. I've seen people chatter online and stuff saying that, oh, we've got Florida strand bass. And if you do the research on Santee, Santee was originally stopped with northern strand bass. So I'm not saying that we don't have some Florida strand that may have been put in by someone through the years or not, but majority of our fish are northern strands. But we do not have any kind of spotted bass. I've heard of a smallmouth got caught way up the river, you know, because the river actually comes down from Columbia and there's smallmouth up there below Lake Murray and the shoals. And but other than that, I mean, you're going to catch nothing but largemouth. And it's when you get bit, you never know. You know, you skip a wacky worm up there to whether it's grass, tree, a stump, a dock, and you feel that tick, it's liable to be a 2-pounder and it's liable to be a 9-pounder. I just had one of my good friends, you know, Jason Williamson, fishes on the Elite Series. His son come down and fished with me last week. He wanted me to show him how to run around Santee. You know, he's got an upcoming tournament. And I told him, I was like, well, I got a tournament. I was like, so you getting your butt in the boat, we going fishing. And I went and practiced on Saturday, and I seen 2 giants around some beds. They wasn't locked down on them, but they were around them. Well, of course, we had 35-mile-an-hour winds the next day, and I told him, I said, look, when I pull up to this spot, I'm going to pull down, and the beds are going to be in front of the boat, then there's going to be a cypress tree. I said, if those big fish are still here, I may be able to see them on the beds, but if not, they're going to be on that cypress tree. And his first cast up there with a wacky worm, he caught a 969. Oh. He broke his personal best right there on that one cast.
He just got Danny excited. Look at him. He don't even know what to say right now. He's like a 9 on a wacky.
Yeah, so again, we kind of talked a little bit before the show. I'm all about that wacky worm and all that. This is my time of the year for that. Of course, I fish it year round. I'm one of those idiots, but this is the time it shines and all that. So mostly largemouth. What is the bait fish like, and how big is Santee? I know it's big as hell.
Big. We have the largest lake in South Carolina. I mean, when you think of Santee, it's Lake Moultrie and Lake Marion. And those two combined, you know, we have the diversion canal between them. Those combined is what we call Santee Cooper. I think just the upper lake is 100 and something thousand acres. I mean, it is absolutely huge. Wow. But there's a lot of dead water on that lake. You know, that's why you see in tournaments people are piled up on top of each other. You know, it can get aggravating at times, but it's there's fish all over that place, that's for sure. And this grass has done nothing but make it better. Me and Patrick Walters was talking not too long ago. If we keep this grass in this lake in another 2 years, I don't think Guntersville is going to be #1 no more.
Really?
I'm telling you, the thing is, we have such an abundance of bait fish. I mean, we've got the herring in there. We've got American shad. We got regular shad. We got just about, I mean, your bluegill, obviously, shell cracker. I mean, gizzard shad. I mean, I've seen gizzard shad out there, I mean, 16 inches long, and I'm like, I need a giant glide bait. I mean, you'll see massive schools of them up there in 2 foot of water, and you're just running them with the trolling motor. And I'm just like, good God, the size of these gizzards. I mean, it is unreal the amount of bait fish we have. And that, with that grass that came back, has done nothing but make the bait explode. And then all our fry from the bass, those are exploding now. I mean, you're catching 4-pound bucks everywhere you turn on beds right now.
That a 4-pound buck, hell, you could win a tournament on 4-pound buck.
Be happy with 5 of them.
No, that's absolutely. I take those Saturday and all that. So when he said, Tim, I saw your face when he said 100,000 acres or whatever, because like Lanier is 38. I mean, that's basically 3 times the size of Lake Lanier. And he said that was kind of like what, the upper lake?
Yes, that's the upper part. It's like, holy smokes.
I'm gonna look up the actual size of it. So
okay, you do that. Kevin, have you ever fished over there?
No, I have not fished Santee Cooper.
So Lake Marion is 110,600 acres.
Good God.
And then Lake Moultrie is, let's see. Oh, come on.
That's huge. Lake
Moultrie itself is 60,000 acres.
So you're basically 170, 180,000 acres of water.
Yep.
Is it, how does it lay out? Is it, I mean, it's not, when you compare it to Guntersville, Gunnersville, everybody talks about it's a lake, but it's a river system. How does Santee Cooper?
Now, ours is a traditional lake system. Now the rivers, like I said, they feed up into swamp coming from like Lake Murray way, and then oh God, trying to remember the name of the lake. I forgot it. But we've got 2 river systems that feeds in up there at the swamp. All that was, the whole place was dug years ago. And then, I mean, there's still old house foundations. I got a bunch of them marked and stuff, that I found. And when the water gets low, you got to watch it because, I mean, you could actually run into those house foundations. I mean, it's a shallow water fishery.
Right.
Yeah, we've got deep channels and stuff, just 30, 40 foot deep. But at the same time, majority of it is all shallow water fishing. That's something that you have to deal with. They've gotten better about dropping the water. But we go out there on a Friday afternoon, and I mean, you shake off 25, 30 pounds. They drop it an inch overnight, ghost town. They're gone. You go back to the same trees and throw a worm up there or something, nothing.
That much. It's that sensitive. Just 1 inch.
Yep.
Good Lord, on a lake that size, you wouldn't think they would be like that. But all right, so you say I'm trying to learn as much about Santee Cooper right here as I can. So shallow water fishing pretty much year round. I mean,
Yep.
you do it. What's give me a couple of baits that you've been throwing over there, other than a wacky, like in the pre-spawn coming up to this time, say the last month or two. What are some of the things that have been catching fish over there?
Well, I mean, I never thought Santee Cooper would be a Minnow style lake, but I mean, obviously the pro circuit showed that this year. I mean, some of us already kind of knew that deal. It definitely in the pre-spawn. I mean, you can catch them on a minnow out there. You go out there, I mean, chatterbaiting, obviously with all the grass, rattle traps. I mean, and depending on the water temp, go out there and throw a spook. I mean, some of the most ferocious blow-ups you'll ever see on a spook. I mean, it's unreal.
You know what? I guess it's just because we're sheltered up here in North Georgia. We just don't talk about it near enough. Some of these great lakes are. How far is that from, let's just say, Lake Lanier? Is Santee Cooper drive?
Probably 4 hours, 4.5 maybe.
I mean, Gunnersville's 3, so
I think I can be to Trent's shop in like 4.5 hours from my house.
Oh Lord, you know old Trent, huh?
Oh yeah.
I think everybody worth their salt knows Trent like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, all right. So, and we'll get into this, guys, out there in the comment section. As you guys come in, throw out the questions if you got them from Skeeter. Now, you're fishing the Tackle Warehouse Pro Circuit this year, right?
Correct.
How many events have you guys had already?
We just had our 3rd one. I definitely want to forget about the last one because Wheeler cut my behind.
Did it? Well, tell us a little bit about. Here's another thing too. We do not talk about MLF style fishing near as much here. We're normally talking the elites and the MPFL, things like that. Why are you fishing just that this year?
I mean, also, I want, nothing against. I mean, I had a great time over there at the MPFL, made a lot of great friends over there. I enjoyed the structure of it and everything else. Just wanted to change. MLF increased their payouts and all. And I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, I think it was like 1,700 less miles for me to drive to fish the MLF tournament trail. So, and of course, they were coming to Santee. I wanted a chance to try to redeem myself from what happened last year. And unfortunately, we got canceled on day 1. And then when we finally got sent on day 2, I ended up getting stuck in the fog on the lower lake. So I was stuck on one spot for like 2 hours. I couldn't see 50 yards in front of me because of the fog. And I'm like, I'm not running in this. So I literally come back. I think I had 3 fish for like 9 pounds. And I was like, you got to be kidding me right now. I was like, I went down there the last day of practice, and in 30 minutes, I made 5 casts. I had 28 pounds. And I was like, this sucks. But I made up for it on day 2, bounced back and got a check. So.
Yeah. So some of the gas is a big thing right now, particularly in Shaw. All the we were actually talking about that before. Gas is, it will affect what guys are fishing these days. But Coleman says MLF Pro Circuit has the best payout to price.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Now I'll be honest, I don't keep. How do they fish? What is that? It's not 5 best.
Yeah, it's 5.
That's the 5 best one.
Yep,
okay.
5 best.
I get them so damn confused and all that.
It's pretty much like the old FLW, pretty much.
That's right. Okay. Alex wants to know if I'm hitting Santee tomorrow. I'm taking a buzz bait, a speed worm, a jig, a chatterbait, a minnow, and a jerk bait.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I literally last Sunday I fished a solo tournament. Second cast of the day, I caught a 5-pounder on the buzz bait. Didn't get another bite on it after that, but I thought I was gonna load the boat with it quick like, but it didn't happen.
Well, so Alex, didn't he just fish that lake for the first time like a couple weeks ago? If I'm not mistaken, yeah. So like he's telling you what to do. He's been out there one damn time, Alex. Yeah, we have to give him crap because he's the kid of our podcast group. So he's like all the crap flows downhill, for sure. So let's see. What do you think about Pocky dropping 28 and 25 on Eufaula? Unreal. I mean, it can be done. He's a hell of an angler for sure.
Heck, how about Freddie doing it with a frog though yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, okay. Speaking of that, because will the frog bite kind of kick up on Santee like it does on Gunnersville and all that? With that grass you got coming in, or is it a little bit different? Or is that one you see his eyes? So basically, he's like,
all I can tell you, if you go back and watch some of my videos from the years past on Facebook, you'll see. I had a guy the other day from the NPFLs picking at him, loving him to death. And I said, man, you was running around that boat down there at Harris Chain with that. I think it was like a 6-pounder on a frog. He was running around that thing like he had it on a ferry one. And I said, man, boat flip that thing. He was like, oh, no. I was like, I boat flip 8 and 9 pounders. I said, go watch some of them videos. He's like, do what? And I'm like, yeah, you need to come on down this way.
I like that. Now, give us a color or two. I'm just curious as your frog choice. Like if I'm going though, see what he says. Look at it. You said nothing was off limits.
It depends. But I'll be honest, I'm not sponsored by them or nothing. I mean, don't get me wrong, I tried reaching out and all that. I was like, all the videos I've got of me catching hammers on them with that gambler popping frog, hands down one of the best frogs out there. But I don't care if it's a gambler, I don't care if it's a spro. But hands down, it don't matter where I go, I'm gonna have a killer gill tied on.
Okay, there you go. Fair enough. He dropped you some juice right there. Oh, Chapman's here. Get your fish on. Skeeter is one of the best dudes, anglers on the planet, and all that. So that's high praise coming from him right there.
Appreciate that.
And we knew we like this personality and everything. We keep up with all the guys from around here and everything. And I'm happy to get him on, for sure. Now you mentioned you've been to Lanier twice. When was the last time you've been to Lanier?
Last time I went to Lanier was, I think, 2 years ago when we were at Hartwell with the NPFL. I drove over there on the off day, and I went there one time for like an hour just testing my boat, and was like, man, I got to get back to this place. And I actually talked to Jesse Millsaps.
Oh, yeah.
Talked to Jesse. Jesse said, go here, here, and here. He's like, and I promise you'll catch fish. And I was like, all right. And I went to those spots, and I mean, I absolutely went to wrecking them. I was like, I like this place. I was like, you catch 5-pound spots out here. I was like, I like this. This isn't a Clark Hill. Which, I mean, at the same time now, Clark Hill it's on the up. I mean,
yeah.
Lord, I mean, you come in with 20 pounds and you're getting your teeth kicked in.
Yeah. If you ain't got 20 plus on Lanier on any given Saturday, you might as well not even weigh in. Wasn't it Caleb Hudson? He talked about Clark's Hill when he was on. He was talking about how good Clark's Hill is.
Yep.
And he was just, he talked just glowingly about that. Y'all hear that word, a fancy word, glowingly right there? Let's see what Chapman says again. He goes, that video with the Nut Brothers and Matt was really good, in my opinion, too. I tell you what, those kids have got a future. Let's just put it that way. I think they'll be around for a time or two.
Carter knocked his motor off here at Santee during the pro circuit.
Yeah.
And, of course, I got phone calls about it and everything. And I went to make some phone calls. I called him. I said, all right, what boat you want? I got a Phoenix and I got a Camus for you. Which one you want, son? And, I had a couple of guys make the comment. They said, man, why would you get that kid a boat? That's one less person you got to worry about beating. I said, man, that's not the type of guy I am.
Yeah.
I said, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. And I tell you, it's I'm still, don't get me wrong, I'm an old school fisherman. I want to throw a frog. I want to throw a buzzbait. I want to throw a jig. I want a big rod, big line. but at the same time, I mean, I'll still go out there and throw a minnow and stuff. And those kids, I ain't gonna lie, they taught me a few little things in a little bit of time I've known them that I was like, huh, okay. I was like, all right. And I was like, well, that makes sense. And it's they're good kids for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best things I said all the time that we do with this show is we have made friends with those young ones coming up from around here because they can fish. I don't care what anybody says about them. They can teach you some stuff. The Emil Wagners, the Paul Marks, and all them guys. We got some coming up here too. You guys are going to hear a lot about. Have you ever fished West Point down in South Georgia? Columbus?
No, I have not.
Yeah, I don't. Coleman goes down there a lot, so I guess we get. He always asks if they ever fish West Point. He wants some of that juice.
I thought West Point was in North Carolina.
No, it's down. It's down Georgia Alabama line on the Chattahoochee down that way.
Columbus, LaGrange, kind of in that area.
Yeah, Flatlanders is what we call them. It's down in the Flatlands, Georgia. All right, here we go. We get this. We got to ask it every single time. Somebody wants to know: you believe in Bigfoot, and does Santee Cooper have them?
Oh, you go out there and stay one night on them islands, you might hear some weird noises out there.
I just always say that's the locals. Listen, I live up here in Dawson County, and when school's out, we got a place called Edge of the World up here on the Amicalola Creek, and it's just a bunch of rapids and stuff. Here in about another month, it's going to look like a wharf out there in California with all them big sea lions laying across it, and they all have the rebel flag bikinis on and everything. It might be a Bigfoot right there. What's up, Tony? All right. So you mentioned you like to throw. So what kind of, if we wanted to describe Skeeter in one sentence, what kind of fisherman is Skeeter? Power, finesse, how would you
I'm more power. I mean, like I said, don't get me wrong. I'll pick up a minnow. I'll pick up a drop shot. I mean, I've caught a lot of big fish on drop shots through the years, and it's but hey, if this time of the year, I'm wanting a swim jig, a frog, a buzz bait, and a jig in my hand, and that's it. That's just how I am. It's I think last year we went up there for the Lake Norman with the NPFL, and like a dummy, I went after spotted bass on day one and didn't do hardly crap. And I said, forget this. I put everything up, pulled out the frog and the buzz bait, and I went to the dirt and smashed them the next 2 days. I think the last day I only came in with 4 fish, but I had like 14 pounds of 4 fish. And everybody's like, what in the world? I was like, yep, all of them on a frog. They're like, you got to be kidding me. And I posted videos. They was like, he wasn't lying. It's like, who goes to Norman and throws a frog? I was like, if there's water in a ditch on the side of the road, I'll catch a fish in it with a frog.
Yeah, it sounds like old Ryan that was on the show. Not Ryan. What's his name? Remember the frog, Black Frog, and that's a black frog, and that's a black frog.
Yeah, it's like
Rob Jordan.
Throw black.
Rob Jordan. He throws frogs on Lanier. Nobody. I mean, there's a very few people that throw it, but he throws a frog on Lanier. Rob Robleski, my fishing partner, that's going to take all your money this Saturday. Skeeter, how to become a pro like you. I want to be the best. Like, I fish with Rob about once or twice a year in a tournament like that, just because he needs somebody that looks good on his boat. I was going to be his net man, but he ain't got no damn net on his boat. He said that, so I guess I'll watch him fish. But yeah, Rob's going to be fishing with me this Saturday. He's a good dude like that.
Oh yeah.
Listen, he's having you guys might be the same because he's getting ready to have surgery on his elbow too.
Like I said, I don't need surgery. Luckily, I'm not quite as bad as him. We actually talked about that. I think Monday I talked to him about it.
Was he whining?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you think he's getting like major reconstructive surgery, going to be out for like 5 months and everything like that. I'm just playing with you, Rob. He's going
to put you out somewhere in the north end of Motley.
He absolutely is. So Chapman says, did you hear or see? See, here's what the hell happens to this show. We mentioned Bigfoot, and it's like it's going to go to shit for the rest of the show. Did you hear or see that Bigfoot walking from years ago was officially deemed a hoax and proved? Listen. What Seth Fighter swears up and down. You remember Seth Fighter that up there in Minnesota or whatever? He's seen a Bigfoot, and it all started when we mentioned that guy sleeping with the female Bigfoot on YouTube. You ever seen that video, Skeeter?
No,
dude. He got accosted by a female Bigfoot. Apparently, she got in a tent with him, had relations with him, and left. And then that joker stayed the next night and had it again. Like all of us are like.
You remember Matt Steffen? Matt Steffen said he encountered one.
Yeah, he did. That's like, and we, But
He
that's
said he wasn't necessarily on either side of the fence, but he said something real big and hairy stood up in front of him and his buddy going to the lake one morning and walked off. And he's like, I don't like going in the woods alone anymore.
I'm telling you, I'll go get you some pictures of some real Bigfoot here in about a month and a half up here on Amiclola Creek. And we'll prove to the world Bigfoot exists, or at least a female Bigfoot. Anyway, but we have fun with that. So give us a couple of other South Carolina ones. I'm going to pick your brain about the swim jig and stuff that you mentioned here in a second, but we all know about Murray. Lord knows we've had guys come on here and talk about Murray. What are some other good lakes in South Carolina that maybe are kind of, they don't get the recognition that the rest of them do?
I mean, obviously, like I said, you know, but everybody knows about Lake Murray. You know, I don't really go to the upper part of the lake, state, like Hartwell, because honestly, I mean, it's like, I think by the time I drive all the way to Hartwell, I could probably be at Lanier. I mean, that's how far it is from me. But there's a place down here by me that we go and fish that a lot of people don't ever know about. It's the Savannah River. It's the river that runs from Hartwell and Clark Hill and all that. And it literally, all the Georgia boys I know, I go down there and fish with them every now and then. You know, I'm placing they have a big tournament down there every year at the end of the summer. And we won it a while back. And, we got second, but we won all the side pots and everything. But that place, man, I'm going to tell you right now, I love fishing that place. It's just, I mean, the water's constantly flowing one way unless you get down south, down here by me, then yes, it'll get tidal. But if you get where it's just a tail race coming from Clark Hill, man, that place, you can catch some giants getting up behind them, all the down trees out there. Just get up behind them and fish them eddies, flipping a jig in there, fishing the willow trees with a frog and a buzz bait and a jig. I mean, is
it shallow or rocky as far as navigating? Or?
Well, there are some stumps out there, but with the way that water is rolling through there, because I mean it's a constant flow. You'll see where that water's spinning like that. You know there's a stump there. So when you're running, if you see that, you want to go around that.
Right.
But it's the problem right now is, you know, like all the Georgia guys are telling me, like they've been coming up holding tournaments at Santee because they're like, man, they was like it's so low down there because we haven't been getting no rain. You know, I think the whole Southeast is dealing with that. You know, we ain't been getting no rain, so it's real low down there right now. But we got a big tournament up there at the end of August. It's a big benefit tournament. They always every year they find a special needs kid or a family that needs help, and they'll hold that tournament to raise money for them. So hopefully we'll get some rain between now and then, get that water level up, because where we always blast off out of, I'm liable to run an hour and a half, 2 hours upriver and then start fishing. But it's we've been down there, caught 25, 28 pound sacks down there. And guys are like, you caught that in the Savannah River? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, I didn't even know the Savannah River had fish like that.
Gotcha. Don't Savannah River got smallmouth too? Down towards Augusta way?
Maybe. I haven't been like below the dam at Clark Hill. I've been all the way up to Augusta, but I've never caught a smallmouth. I know of a guy that did catch a smallmouth up there. It's a good friend of mine, but I've never caught one. And another good place is obviously Cooper River. You know, that's where Santee dumps into. That's all tidal water. It's all hydrilla. Got stumps and hydrilla all through there. That place is great. You know, I got a good friend of mine. He wins out there all the time. I mean, it's constantly 20, that 20 to 24 pound range is typically what it's going to take to win. But there's days that they'll catch 28 pounds out there. So
I got you. All right, Craftmaster / Glitter Rockets Rule. You guys are great with your names. Thurman Reservoir tomorrow. What are you throwing and where? Hell, just give them the winning combination in the spots. What would you be throwing if you were out there tomorrow?
Well, I mean, that's Clark Hill. I mean, if I'm going up there right now, as warm as it is, I'm probably going to run points for the fluke. I mean, it won't be long. Them herring ought to be getting about right now.
That's right. Chris Crosby says, yeah. I wonder if he's talking about the smallmouth. If he's answering that doesn't have smallmouth, he might be talking about that. Yeah. Skeeter, what are some of your favorite jigs? And then once you answer that question, I want to ask you a couple about swim jigs.
So as far as jigs, I mean, I throw a variety of jigs. You know, Danny over at Brazzalo makes me some. He knows I've got a particular color I like. as I call it, Santee special color.
Make a note of that. We'll get that out of Danny.
I'm writing that down.
And it's pretty simple. I mean,
Yeah.
it ain't nothing to it, but it's I like Danny's jigs. I throw the True South jigs.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, if you go and look at my jig box, I got a variety of everything. I like KJ's jig, the Queen Tackle jig. I just wish I had a little bit bigger weed guard on it. That's a little too thin for the stuff that I like to flip in. Cause I'll put that thing up in there where you be like, what in the world did you really put that in there? I'm like, yep. But it's like I said, a True South and then the Brazalo jig I really like.
Okay. So let me ask you this on your weed guard. Are you one of those that likes to cut, adjust, modify, flare, any of that, or you just want a good heavy weed guard and keep it straight?
9 times out of 10, I'm gonna keep it straight. Sometimes I'll trim a little bit off because some of these jig companies they'll make them too long.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how much structure I'm actually flipping in, I'll cut that thing down to make it stiffer. But most of the time, depending on the brand, on how long it is, that's what I'll judge it off of.
Okay. And we might as well go ahead and ask this. What is your rod and reel / line and everything on your jig setup?
7.6 heavy chaotic custom rod with a 20-pound gamma.
There you go, man. He had that question ready, or that answer ready right there.
If you go look in my boat, there ain't nothing but 20-pound gamma on everything.
20, no hesitation right there. Tim, you or Kevin got a question, or I'll just keep yapping my mouth and asking in mine. Y'all got anything? Keep yapping. All right.
Yeah.
Swim jig. Like I watch guys throw swim jigs. Now, granted, around here, only there, we don't have the grass and all that. That's or stuff that's the typical stuff, but I know guys use them. All right. I watch you guys throw it. I suck at it. Give me your retrieve on a swim jig. Are you doing that Alabama shake? What's the speed that you're doing? Because I really want to know how to throw these things. I want to learn how to throw them on some of these smaller electric only reservoirs that we got around here. It's a little better there than it might be on Lanier.
So my deal with a swim jig is like I had an actual Florida hammer tell me this years ago. He's like, what are you shaking that rod for? He's like, Florida fish don't like that whole shaking thing. And I started doing that like on Santee, and I'm gonna tell you right now, 9 times out of 10, I ain't shaking it. I put a Bojangles Z Daddy on the back, which is pretty much a Z Crawl Jr., but it don't have a hook slot in it. Absolutely love that for all my jig trailers, flipping bait to beds, whole 9 yards. But I'll put that on there, and I mean, that thing kicking like it does, you don't need to shake it.
So you just reeling it.
I'll still catch myself sometimes shaking it, but most of the time I'm not shaking it. I mean, I cracked them last year up on Rob Robleski's lake up there on Douglas in the NPFL. I only fished 2 hours on day one, and I actually got on a plane, flew all the way back home, went to my daughter's graduation. I think I had like 13-something pounds, and they're all like, "You caught that in 2 hours?" I'm like, "Yep." It was all on swim jig, just firing it out there and just reeling it.
Just a steady retrieve.
Yep.
20-pound gamma.
Yep.
See, I tried to do that Alabama shake and all that, and I felt so just miscombobulated the whole time trying to do that in reel. I was like, there ain't no way this can be effective. But I see guys doing that.
Yeah, I mean, I know of some elite anglers that one of their names was said earlier. He'd tell you the same exact thing. He ain't shaking it. We talked about it. And he's like, I don't shake it at all. And
one of my buddies.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Well, what kind of knot you use?
Oh yeah, here we go.
I use the Pitson knot, the Welcher ties. I do the same knot the Welcher does, but no matter what, I don't care if I'm tying on a crankbait, if I'm using 14-pound line or I'm using 20-pound line. When I pull that thing up and pinch it, I swing it around it 4 times, bring it back through the knot, cinch it down.
I've been using that for several years, and I have not had it fail once.
What's it called again?
The Pitson knot.
Yep, the Pitson knot.
Pinson, P-I-N.
Double Pitson.
Double Pitson. You double it through, lay it over the top of your finger, wrap it around, come back through, wet it, and cinch it down. It's a cinch knot more than anything. And it looks kind of weird, and you got a couple of tag ends to deal with, but it's not going to break.
I mean, it still looks like a 3-tag knot. I mean,
right.
You said because you got a loop, and then you got your single line coming out. So you cut it, you got 3 tags right there. But dude, I'm telling you, I done other knots and everything else, and like I definitely will not do a Palomar knot with fluorocarbon. I don't care. I've lost so many fish doing that years ago, because when I crack them, I mean, I know everybody, oh, you ain't got to give them all that. No, I'm making sure I'm sticking them.
Yeah, if you're gonna winch something out of some cover, that Pitson knot's where it's at.
Yep, 100%. I mean, I told a kid that a few years ago on Clark Hill when I was up there fishing. It was actually the first time I ever fished Clark Hill. We went out for about 30 minutes that afternoon. I said, I already seen what I need to see. I just shook off 3 5-pounders on a wacky worm. We come back the next day and he lost, I think, 3 or 4 to 5 pounders that day. And I was like, look here, tighten that thing down. I said, I want you to hit that fish and then back it off. I said, you got to make sure you penetrate that fish with that stinger hook. I said, and then you can back that drag off and let him have it.
Okay, there you go. Randy Callahan says, is that the double shindo? That's 18,000 names for like 5 knots. I'm gonna ask you this.
It's similar. He's talking about Swindle's knot is what he's talking about, and it's similar to that. But see, Swindle does his down. He pulls it up, goes down, and if I remember correctly, he just goes through the bottom knot. Can't remember.
Yeah, it's almost like a San Diego jam.
Yeah, it's almost like the jam knot. Yep.
Danny's like, I don't know what the hell y'all talking about.
Well, no, I thought like a improved sense knot, and I thought about 2 knots. Okay, let me ask you this: how many spinning rods do you have on your boat right now?
4.
All right. Do you go braid to fluoro?
Yep.
What's your knot?
Typically FG knot, because I don't have no issue tying them.
Yes.
God, dog. Listen,
I mean, even when I'm on the water, like I've done double uni to unis and all that, and what's the other one, the Alberto and stuff.
That's
done those. But what I don't like with those is you get in a windy situation, that braid will overlap that fluorocarbon, and next thing you know, you got a knot in your line, and I'm like, I can't stand that. It don't take me very long to tie FG. Now I do mine different. Like I talked to Welcher about this one day having breakfast, and he told me, he said he only does like 20 wraps, I believe. And I talked to Patrick about it, and Patrick does the same thing I do, 30 wraps. No matter what, I do 30 wraps every time. I mean, it's a little bit longer of a knot, but I know that knot's going to hold.
I just ain't coordinated enough to do it. I mean, my fat ass fingers will not sit there and hold it, and you got to have a PhD around your mouth and do all that stuff.
I quit counting. I got little fat thumbs. I just make sure it's at least longer than my thumb is wide and cinch it down and sling.
I ain't got time for that crap.
Oh, that's me. I'll be counting them, and somebody will try to talk to me, and I'm like, I won't say nothing
All
back.
it takes is one fool to say something to you, and you're like, I don't know where the hell I was. Just keep weaving.
I hope like hell I get around him while he's tying one, get around Skeeter and he's tying one, because you know me, I am going to say something to him to see if I can mess his ass up. All right, let me get back on this swim jig. All right, so we're throwing it out. I see Tom's comment over there. You're pretty much just reeling it.
Yep.
Just a steady retrieve. How do you play it in the water column? Are you keeping it where you can see it, or what? You know, what's telling
I mean, it really depends on what I'm fishing. Like if I'm fishing around pads and all that, I'm trying to keep it up high. If I'm trying to get it down around stumps and everything, obviously I'm fishing it totally different. You know, I've heard of guys, you know, dragging it and everything else. I don't do that. If I'm gonna do that, I'm throw a regular jig.
Right.
But I mean, I'll take a swim jig, and I mean, I'll throw it up in lay downs. It don't matter. Skipping around trees, skipping around docks. You know, it's getting that time of the year that shad spawn's coming, and when that happens, that and a frog, I mean, you can't beat them.
I got you right there. Now Coleman says he only does 12 wraps, so he's just doing an F knot. He ain't even added the G to it.
So, he ain't a gangster.
No, he's not a gangster.
That man's right with the Lord if he can get that thing to hold on 12 wraps. That's all I know.
I promise you this: I'm not going out there and hooking no 8-9 pounder with 12 wrap FG. Nope, not doing it.
Oh, good Lord. So Coleman, up your game, dude. Quit being lazy. Get the other 18 wraps. Like
yeah, don't be lazy. Keep weaving.
Keep weaving.
You got to put more quantity in there to get the quality.
Good Lord. I like it though. That's funny as crap. Okay. All right. So basically, what's your rod again? Because this is for me. This is questions I want to know. What's your rod power on your swim jig? Your length and all that?
On my swim jig, I'm gonna throw a 7.3 heavy.
Okay, you're going heavy with 20-pound gamma.
Yep.
Anytime
I've got fluorocarbon on a rod and I've got a single hook, whether it's a jig, a worm, swim jig, but if it's a single hook, it's going to be a heavy action rod at all times. I learned that years ago trying to throw like a Texas rig with a 7-foot medium heavy or a 7.3 medium heavy. You go to boat flip that thing, and that rod gives with that, and that little bit of give that fluorocarbon's got. Next thing you know, they come right off midair. I swapped over to a heavy years ago doing that, and I don't have an issue at all. I mean, swing them right in the boat. They don't care 5, 6, 7 pounds. It don't matter. They coming.
Okay, I like that. Let me ask you this, because I'm going to start asking every one of our guests this question. I should have let off with it, but it popped in my mind because you're kind of giving us tips and everything. What is the number one mistake anglers make, in your opinion, when bass fishing?
Overthinking things. And I can sit here and tell you that because I do it myself. We all do it. It's no different than when I've traveled all over the United States playing softball and baseball. I can look at you, take a swing, and say, Danny, you're dropping your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Then I can turn right around, step in that batter's box, and do the same exact thing you did because I can't see my swing.
Yeah.
It's the exact same scenario right there all day long. I mean, I tell people that, like a buddy of mine come over earlier. He's like, man, I don't even know what to do tomorrow to go and practice. And I told him, I said, well, if I was you, this is what I would do. I said, you got to practice per the wind, obviously. And, I told him what he should do. And honestly, I mean, that's what I'm going to go and do tomorrow. But I can sit there and tell him that, well, I'm not going to get out there an hour in the morning and be like, shit, this ain't working. I'm gonna go throw a minnow now in the ditch with 74-degree water and a full moon like an idiot and go, then it's gonna hit me. What the heck am I doing right now?
God, he sounds a lot like me. I definitely overthink that. But that little example about dropping the ball, because that's, I played ball and all that. How many people say, don't drop your shoulder and all that, and you watch them swing or do something, you're like, damn, dude. You do the exact same thing you're preaching against and all that. Yep. That happens a lot and all that. On a given tournament day, since you are a power fisherman, how many spots do you normally hit? Because again, we're used to these Lake Lanier boys like Emil and all that. They're hitting 70, 80, dropping, scanning, going, and they got this route. Does it change with you because you're more of a power guy?
Well, so I used to be like that. Okay. Buddies of mine here at home on Santee used to pick at me. We'd blast off, run our first spots, and they said 20 minutes later they see a boat. Yong. Then 20 minutes later, yong. I'd burn out a whole damn tank of fuel in one day. And they're like, finally, my buddy's like, dude, he's like, I'm telling you. He's like, you got to stick and stay, make it pay. And I have preached that ever since it finally clicked with me. Because at Santee, a lot of times, it's that type of place. You could get in a stretch and there's fish there, and it's a timing deal. When those fish fire, I mean, I have done that, fished a 100-yard stretch for 4 hours, and then all of a sudden at 12 o'clock they fired, and bam, 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 we caught 5 for like 25 pounds with a chatterbait. Yeah. It's like I like to run and gun, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I'm kind of one of those now. I feel like I fish better when I just get in the area and break that area down and milk it for everything it's got.
That sounds like me and you, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Except we just get one area. We're like, we just don't want to go nowhere. We'll fish that thing till it's like.
Or we're somewhere we don't know where the hell we're at. So we're like, we're just going to make the best of it so we don't get lost.
Now, don't get me wrong. Now, I love getting behind the wheel of that bass cat and sending it and passing every boat out there. But it's, I don't know.
Danny and I didn't do that the last time because we didn't know where in the hell we were going. I was going down there, and we're up at about 50 cruising. And I was like, where are we fishing? He goes, hell, I don't know. I thought you do.
Yeah, I don't know that part of the lake.
So I had somebody ask me that at Wheeler. They said, what you going to do tomorrow for day one? I said, well, I caught a few good fish the other day after lunch. I run that pattern the last day of practice and didn't get a bite. I said, I think when we blast off, I'm going to take a right. Because I ain't been that way all week. I'm going to look at new water. Yeah. And I did. I was boat 48. And every boat that went up there, I passed every one of them in that bass cat and was sitting at the Wheeler Dam at Gunnersville. I was the first boat there. And I'm sitting there going, well, hell, what am I going to do now? What I do, I picked up a jig and just went firing the jig around. I'm like, I stayed up there at about 10:30, didn't get a bite nowhere, and it was like Cal Lane's over there crushing them, and I'm like, well, let me go on back down here to these stumps. So at least I know how to fish stumps. As soon as I get down there, bam, 5-pounder on a shaky head. Go to the next stump, bam, 3-pounder, shaky head. Then I don't get another bite. I'm like, I said, Lord, this place is killing me.
I want you to do this because I love them, but sell me on a bass cat. Like you're trying to sell me. I'm in the market. Sell me on a bass cat.
I'll put it to you like this. I haven't had a deal, I've had like a deal with a dealer or whatever before. And I've had just about anybody that actually knows me knows that I've had just about every boat out there is. I've had the Skeeters, obviously, main Skeeter. I ran a Skeeter last year. But after I actually went to Arkansas and walked through that factory and I seen how they actually build these boats, and I told them, I said, a buddy of mine's got an older Lynx back when they had the Evinrude G2s. I said, he's still running that boat. Yes, he's on his like 3rd or 4th power head. I don't know why he won't repower it, but that boat, he has never had to tighten a bolt in that boat, never had an issue with his rub rail or nothing. And they showed me exactly why you won't have an issue with a rub rail. And I was like, oh, well, that's pretty dang impressive. But the overall quality of the build has thoroughly impressed me. The ride of it, dude, I've been out there on Santee. Santee, I know y'all haven't been, but I'm telling you, Santee is one of the roughest places you will ever be on. When that wind's blowing, it gets nasty. And, dude, I get right up on top of them and just, boom, I go. We were at Harris Chain a while back. I come into Harris going to weigh in, and there was 2 footers rolling in there, and I just jumped right up on top of them, 72 mile an hour all the way back. Now, that was headed into the wind. If the wind wouldn't have been blowing on it, oh, yeah, I've been running 76, 77. But that boat's got the speed, it's got the ride, and I was worried about, how the boxes are all shaped. Dude, that thing's got so much daggone storage in it. I'm like, good God. I was like, anybody who's seen the inside of my shop, they know it's like a tackle shop in here. And they're like, dude, I can fit anything I want in that boat. It's unreal. I got a 10-inch subwoofer in that boat in a box. Literally, like, go on my Facebook and watch that video of the minnow sitting on the deck, just sitting there every time the bass hits.
What you listening to? Tupac or something like that?
I play everything. hard rock, rap, country.
There you go. I like it. What model do you have?
I've got the brand new Lynx with the Yamaha show.
The brand new Lynx with show. Okay. That is awesome. One of these days, the people out at Bass Cat, we'd like one for the show. Actually, they said that we could go out there and do a video and actually film walking through their headquarters and they're watch them build and all that we could go out there and do that. So one of these days we will.
Danny, honestly, it's something definitely to go by and do. I was very intrigued with the ways that and the time that they put into these boats. It was very impressive.
Well, there you go. I like it. What now? Yours has the triangle live well.
Correct. All of them do.
Did it take? Okay, they all do. Okay, I didn't know if all of them, but did it take you a little bit to get used to that?
The very first time I went in that boat, I was like, all right, I'm gonna have to get used to all this. But dude, after having that thing, I'm tearing out. Those daggone live wells are freaking huge.
Yes.
We had a 9 almost 10-pounder in there last Saturday, and she was all the way down in the bottom. Like, hey, hit that switch, pump that water out. I was like, I'm gonna be down to my shoulders with my long arms trying to grab her out the bottom.
Yeah, they're big. They're really big. I like them. One of these days, I'm going to be like Skeeter, and I'm going to get me a Bass Cat for sure. Ron Swinford. Now, this is actually a pretty interesting point because I asked you before we got talking about the Bass Cat about whether you are a running gunner. Now, he says fishing largemouth lakes, sometimes you have to just hang around until they start eating. Spot lakes are just different. And that might be true because here on Lanier, the way they load up and come back with the herring and they're chasing the herring and all that, that might actually be a good point if you're fishing a largemouth lake. Soak it a little bit, let it take some time, but it's a different mentality on like Lanier and things like that too.
Well, Lanier and Clark Hill and all that, at any time those fish will be sitting on that point and them herring will come by. So, I mean, you're running and gunning around that lake, running points and shoals and all that. Same thing at Murray when the heron's running. And, I mean, you're going to run into them eventually. I mean, you know, the very first time I ever went somewhere that had herring was Hartwell. And Paul Geddes told me, he said, you pull up that spot, he said, you make 3 casts, you pull the trolling motor, you go to the next one. And because I took my son, I think he was 5 at the time, and we went up there and graphed, and I just marked piles. Is all I did was mark piles. We did that till lunchtime, and then we went to running piles. And I mean, we absolutely caught the fire out of them, but that's all we did. We pull up, make 3 casts, and if they didn't bite, on to the next one.
Yeah. Now that sounds like a meal and Paul and them, don't it, guys? I mean, that's the way they describe it. Brooks Anderson, all of them like that. And some of them won't even make a cast. They'll drop that, they'll scan it.
Yep.
Nope, don't like it. Go the next one. I ain't wasting my time. So Rob says last year at Santee Day 2 of the NPFL, I swear there were 4 to 6 footers crashing the dam heading back. I thought I was going to die.
Rob, that's why I went and caught 29 pounds in 30 minutes and got my butt back to the damn landing.
Yes.
They were still blasting off. I already had 29 pounds in the box and was headed back to the landing. They were calling me. They said, where are you at? I said, I'm on the way back. We about to order pizza.
That's exactly right. I love it. All right, guys, we're going to do our question of the night here in just a few minutes. So Kevin's going to get ready. Tonight, you're going to be able to win a Spro KGB Little Guy 120. If you get the question of the night. So this one is the Grand Shad. The Grand Shad. So got one of these. We will give it away. Do you have that question ready?
I got it already.
You got it already. Let's go ahead, and that way we'll give him a time to get a drink and everything. Let's go ahead. How many answers on the question of the night?
One answer. It's an easy one tonight.
Oh God. Yeah,
it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it easy?
Right here.
I believe it's one answer, but is it easy?
Yes.
Okay. All right, go for it.
All right. Bassmaster Pro Will Davis loves to duck hunt. What other term does he refer ducks to? I'll read it again. Bassmaster Pro Will Davis loves to duck hunt. What other term does he refer ducks to? Like, what does he call ducks? Yeah. I can tell you what I call them. It's a waste of damn time. That's what I call them. But quack, quack. Where did you find this? Oh, you can't tell me that. I can't tell you now.
If he tells that, it'd be too easy.
I got an idea, but
well, just see if you're right. Because listen, in about 5 minutes, guys they'll get on in there and go, I'll just order the damn thing. I ain't gonna try to win. We'll just order it to be easier than that.
I'd say he's probably talking about like well, out there they call them what, Kentucky's or spotted bass.
Okay, is that what? Is that okay, like I don't ever know.
Had to try something.
I never have an idea.
Yeah, that's not the answer.
Where's your what's up, Tanner Fletcher, right there out there? While guys are trying to figure that out and decide whether they're going to try to answer that or not. You mentioned baseball and all that. You played back in the day?
Oh yeah.
Who's your team?
The Braves, of course.
Okay, good. I just want to check, make sure, like that. What do you think about this year's team?
We'll see. You know how the Braves are. They always got a way of screwing something up. Everybody always picks at me because they're like, how are you a Carolina Gamecock fan and a Georgia Bulldog fan? I was like, well, I was raised in Carolina, but most of my granddaddy's side of the family was all from over in Georgia and Statesboro, Swainsboro, and all that. So I was raised up a Bulldog fan at the same time, and I was like, hey, it works out fine until they play each other. And I was like, but that's my 2 college teams. I mean,
yeah, I like it. The Braves, I tell you what, hot damn, when they're cold, some of them can't hit. Olsen and Riley and even Acuna, they couldn't hit. Hell, I'd do it for $50,000 a year. I'd get up there and swing it.
Yeah, pay me the league minimum. I'll get back in training right now.
Yeah, hell yeah, we can do that. All right, hey Coleman, you're right. I need your address again. It's sitting right here on the desk. I gotta get him his groove box. Okay, where's your next tournament at?
Our next one on the pro circuit is actually up there at Douglas Lake. Hopefully that one will be a good one. It's we're actually, I think, fishing.
He got a whiteboard.
May 8th, 9th, and 10th. So I think we're going to be about a week to maybe 2 weeks earlier than we were last year with the NPFL. like I said, I had a pretty good tournament. I think I finished 11th or 12th up there last year. Probably could have done better if I would have got to fish all day long on day one. But hey, family's more important. So
100% it is. Now I can't keep up with all the damn. What's the info rule in?
we got 30 days or so. I believe we actually go off limits this Saturday.
Okay.
When we go off limits on it. So
yes,
as long as they're doing what they were doing last year, I'm good.
There you go. John G, it's funny you mentioned that. We are doing that here in a little bit. I was going to let everybody get the do the question of the night. That's why I did it a little bit early, and we'll have our drawing here in about 5 minutes. You also mentioned to me you're going to kind of fish some local stuff. So I guess some of the stuff around Santee and all that. I was kind of thinking about this. We got a couple of what I call local trails. Guys run a certain tournament where like the hammers come out. And if you fish that, you might as well be good, or you're throwing your money away. Does Santee have like little kind of, I don't want to call them clubs, but you know what I'm talking about? Man,
let me try it now. There's a guy, a lot of us idle on Santee. You can go back and look his name up on MLF, Bass, all that stuff. Brent Riley. Let me tell you right now. Brent Riley, that man, you go out and catch 32 pounds. And you come in, you like, boy, we got them today, boys. And you go to walk up there and you see Brent's wife standing in the crowd. Going back.
he didn't call it honey.
If his wife is standing in that crowd, he got a sack. He will hurt your feelings. But it's don't get me wrong. I mean, he's still a great dang fisherman. But a lot of the guys that was crushing it for years have kind of declined a little bit because all this grass just popped up. It's totally different fishing. It used to be milk runs or running brush piles and certain trees and certain stumps, and now we got all this grass. There you go. Tanner knows Brent Riley will hurt your feelings, no doubt. And it's that man, I'm gonna tell you right now, I've looked up to him my whole fishing career. He's he'll take it on the chin. Whether he catches 14 pounds or 38 pounds.
Yeah. There's some guys and some of the ones I fish, like very rarely, I'm not as good as you, of course. Very rarely do I win. But if I beat Angler X on a given day, as it would have been his bad day, but I beat him, like I go home acting like I just won the damn classic. I mean, like there's a couple of guys like that. And then this Saturday, of course, Tim and them, when we fish and all that, they just want to beat me and Rob. And if me and Rob don't win it and we finish down a little bit and they were to come ahead of us, it's going to make their year, guys like that. So, I understand it. But in all seriousness, Brent Riley, give me a couple more names of some guys out there.
Brent Riley's good. Young kid, Bennett Lawshy. Bennett's put a lot of time in out there. Bennett's damn good out there because he puts his time in. Obviously Kyle Austin.
Mm-hmm.
He guides on the lake. Well, this time of the year, obviously he's doing the bass guiding. Most time he's doing catfish. Corey Casey, he's a guide out there fishing NPFL. Corey's good.
Mm-hmm.
But all in, you can call any of them and they'll all tell you the same thing. Brent Riley.
I like that.
I mean,
he's the man.
Yep. He's always been the man. Like I said, now the grass has come and it's a little bit changed. It's changed a little bit, but you never know with Brent. That's the thing. You never know. He's liable to come in with 38 pounds or 22. I mean, that's the thing.
What's the biggest sack you ever caught out there?
The biggest sack I've ever caught is 36 something, and that was just out there fun fishing. And I almost broke that the other week right before we went to Wheeler, but I lost one that was over 10. And I ain't gonna lie, it was about gay as I'm shaking that middle. But I mean, heck, I had 32 pounds and I lost one that was over 10. That's the only fish I lost all day. And then I threw back another 28 pound sack, and I was like, but I went right back to that same area on Saturday, and every fish that you seen on the sonar was garfish and catfish.
Ain't it crazy how that happens?
I'm like, I was like, I just drove all the way from the swamp all the way to the lower lake. And I'm like, dang, a bass on a stump, a brush pile floating, nothing. I'm like
they just mass exodus all at once. It's like, hey, everybody, we're leaving.
Yeah. When them garfish move in, but that was what was crazy, Tim. the garfish would be out there in 8 to 14 foot of water, and they were up there in a foot of water. Because when I realized, all right, they're not out here, I went to the dirt. Yep, there's like a 6 and a 4 over here rolling, and I'm like, well, you ain't gonna catch them right now while they're rolling.
Right.
I stayed in the dirt, and the dang garfish was up there in 12 inches of water. I'm like, what in the world? I mean, we got an abundance of garfish. It's unreal.
Yeah, them ugly ass things like that. Has anybody come close to getting your question?
Not a thing. No, not at all.
I didn't think they would. Now, a couple of you guys, John G and Coleman, have asked about the monthly viewer thing. I'm getting ready to do that. I was trying to give a little time for you guys to answer that one, but since how nobody is, I'm going to go ahead and do this drawing again. So tonight, again, I got one more K-Rig here from Spro. I believe it's the Platinum Shad. I believe that. So let me get that damn thing up there. So, yeah, it is. Let's see. Hell, I don't even know what color it is. It is. Oh, there it is. Yes, Platinum Shad. So again, this is a drawing we do monthly for people that support the channel. You can do $4.99 and you get 1 entry into it, or $9.99 you get 2 entries into it. So let me reach in here and see who's going to win it this month. I got a real nice Spro reel coming back. What is that? Oh hell, the flipping one, Tim, that they were coming out with. You know, remember we talked about it?
Yeah, if you hadn't asked me, I could have probably rolled the name right off my tongue.
And that's the one Dean Rojas is.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah, I got a Dean Rojas reel. That's coming for next month.
I stay on top of all those things. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, the Christie reel, that thing feels pretty good.
I've got 5 of them.
Yeah.
Now I don't have the because you're an FG guy, so you probably would go with the really high one. I got the one with 9 barons, not the 11 barons. Yeah. Whatever, you know what I'm talking about. Yep. But honestly, now Tim, you threw that one. Mm-hmm. Remember we threw it down there at the Toys for Tots, but
oh yeah,
they're smooth. I love them.
Yeah, every time I walk into Phantom Outdoors, I keep picking one up, and I'm like, dude, this be a damn good frog reel.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, it's smooth. I mean, for sure. I'm like, they did a pretty good job on this.
Yeah, they are. I really do like them. And
we had the cranking setup that Spro had, the rod and reel combo, I think.
I had the rock crawler rod.
Yeah, the rock crawler rod.
Yeah. Yep. And now I got the mixed stick, and I got a couple other ones. I like it. I do a lot. All right, so the winner, Brian Thompson. So I don't know if Brian's watching tonight. I'll try to get in touch with him. But Brian Thompson has won the monthly giveaway, and he will be getting the Spro KG, whatever you want to call this, massive. I hope you got a big ass rod, Brian. Is all I got to say.
You're gonna need you a broomstick and some baling wire to hurl that.
Have you thrown one of these, Skeeter?
No.
Would you throw one?
I seriously doubt it. I've got so many glide baits. Tater sent me glide baits. I've got the Spro one. I mean, it'll blow your mind how many glide baits I have, and I hardly ever throw one. I don't even know why I got them, honestly.
So you don't get into that game.
Not really. I mean, don't get me wrong. You go in there right now, there's probably 4 setups in there with reels and rods, and I got a whole zipper thing just slap full of them, and I don't ever pick them up. I'll throw a chatterbait. Heck with that.
I was gonna say, you're like every one of us. We all got crap we ain't never going to use or throw, but we got it.
We're not going to get rid of it either.
Yeah. Buddy walked in here earlier to borrow a prop to try on his boat tomorrow, and he goes, "You got to be kidding me, Skeeter." I'm like, "What?" And he just went to looking at all the socket. I was like, "Yeah, I got like 300 and something packs."
I was getting ready to ask you, how many packs of Sakamatas do you have right now in your possession? Give me an estimate.
Probably 300. I'd say 340, 350.
And you guys want to know why the hell you can't get them anywhere? Because out at Skeeter's house or some of these other guys' houses.
Well, that's like the Koikis.
Yeah,
I got the Koikis. I got the prickly pears. I got the skinny bears, the unis. But guess what? You know how many fish I can catch on them?
Okay, how many of those have you really tried? I mean, the Koiki. Like, how much have you?
I have literally tried them, but I had a very good angler that maybe won a tournament a while back on one. Mm-hmm. His daddy told me straight up. He said, certain lakes, they will not eat that thing.
Yeah.
I was told that, like Gunnersville, they won't eat it. And I said, well, that might be the problem I'm having is I'm trying it on Santee, but I know some guys that have caught a fish or two on them on Santee. But what it boils down to is one of those baits that I literally will just have to go out there for a day and take every damn rod out the boat and put that on the deck, and just, if I want to catch a fish, I'm gonna have to throw the dang thing.
Yeah, you got to commit to it.
It's just one of those baits. You're going to have to do that. You got to commit to it, just like a glide bait. You got to commit to it all day.
Mm-hmm.
And until you figure out the cadence and all that. I mean, I know how everybody's throwing it and everything, but I don't know. The fish on Santee just don't want to mess with it. I don't know why.
I can tell you guys, if you want one of these koikis and all that, and you find one in the store, you better grab it. Because I talked to the guys at Spro just earlier this week, and they're not they're out of stock at Spro. So everyone that they've had, it's out there, and they're not going to get any more they're not going to restock for another month, maybe 2 months before they get the next ones in there. So if that's your bait and you stumble upon one, you better grab it. Right.
Yeah, most of these local stores, they ain't got them.
Ain't
Gone.
Yep.
Dude, I'll tell you this, Skeeter, at the Classic, they had a drop of some new colors.
Yep.
And if you were a bass member, whatever, the very first day, you got in at 11, and regular public got in at 12. And I had a buddy of mine trying to get some for me, and because it was this new color, and they were gone. Like
green pumpkin candy.
20
Green
minutes.
pumpkin candy.
Oh, yeah,
15, 20 minutes, they were wiped out.
20 minutes.
I wasn't there, but the reason I say that is I walked into Phantom Outdoors last week, and they pulled out this big brown cardboard box. And they said, "Look what we just got in. It's got some new colors in it." And the first one they pulled out, green pumpkin candy. I said, "Tell you what, put that back in the box. Give me the whole damn box." And I grabbed the whole brown box and walked up there and set it on the counter. I said, "I'll take them all."
Yeah.
I was like, why do I keep buying these damn things? I think I've caught 4 fish on them, and that was fish that were on a bed.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll bite anything then.
But dude, you know how much money you can make off of them right now?
Oh yeah.
Like,
well,
I get your little boat gas out of that.
Yeah, I got a buddy. He's going. I think they got to fish Cherokee. They're leaving this week for the Bass Nation thing, and he was like, "Man, you bought all the damn koikis." I said, "What you need?" He said, "I don't know." He said, "Just I need one." I was like, "All right." And then I actually, I'm good friends with old Burge, and Burge seen that green pumpkin candy. I said, "I'll get you one in the mail coming to you." And I know everybody's trying to find them, but I said maybe I'll go to one of these lakes here soon that they'll actually bite the damn thing.
That is the color though that everybody wanted, was that green pumpkin candy.
Yep.
For sure. That's funny you said that, because you knew exactly the one everybody was wanting.
Oh yeah. As soon as I seen that, I was like, I want is the whole box green pumpkin candy? They said, no, there's 6 of them in there. I said, I don't care. Give me the whole box.
Yeah. Bottom Line Outdoors wants to know, he said he caught 2 over 5 pounds today on the Karashi 80. What is your take on this bait? Do you have an opinion on that bait, Skeeter?
I haven't thrown the 80, but I had a guy actually a couple years ago give me that little smaller one.
Mm-hmm.
And I threw it on a spinning rod up there at Murray. And dude, I'm telling you right now, it was tough out there on Murray that day. I couldn't get bit. And I tied that little thing on a spinning rod, and it was like every cast with it. I mean, they were just nailing it. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. This little tiny bait.
Yeah.
It just, it was scary with those little tiny hooks on it. But I actually want to get my hands on one of those 80 sizes and try it.
I haven't thrown it yet. I haven't thrown the 80.
But I think the small one's what, 65 or 60 maybe?
I don't know. I really don't know the answer to that. But
I want to say it is.
You mentioned you like throwing the wacky and all that. What's your wacky setup, if you don't mind me asking? Are you spinning rod, or you throwing that on a bait caster?
If I'm throwing it on a bait caster, I'm just Texas rigging it weightless. Me personally, I throw it both ways. The problem right now, though, is, I mean, a lot of like spots I like to throw it on's got grass around these trees and stuff. So, that you get in the wacky hung up in the grass. So a lot of times I'll just grab a bait caster. I'll put it on a 7.3 heavy and with a Steez on it, and sling it over there with 20 pound and let her float down to them. But most of the time, as far as spinning setup, if I'm skipping docks and stuff like that, definitely I'm going with a spinning setup. It's going to be 15-pound braid or either 10-pound braid. And, everybody always was, going light leaders and all that. I've got to where I've been doing something a little different lately. I've been tying on 14-pound gamma and rolling.
It's so funny that you said that, because we Clint and Ken Pruitt and I, we went up to the Bass U event up in Anderson.
Yep.
And Emil was doing his little presentation and all that. And we're back in the back making faces at him while he's doing it and all that. But he said that he has started going, because he's from Lanier. And on Lanier, you go light. You got to go 8-pound and all that. He ties on pretty much just wherever he's at, 12-pound now. He quit doing the really, really light stuff, unless he said he got into like some stupidly clear water. But he has started to go back to heavier line and all that. And so it makes sense when you say that.
Yep. I've got to where it's going to be 12 or 14-pound line for me. That's just, I mean, I know that, especially 14-pound gamma, that's like everybody else's 16.
Yeah.
I mean, you lay into one, and I don't care if it's on a minnow, if it's on a wacky worm, shake head, you can bring them. I mean, just tighten that drag down and bring them. But I mean, like I said, it's going to be 12 or 14 for me.
Okay, I like that.
That's what I throw is 12.
Yep.
I go 15.
I learned like last year up there dealing with them smallmouth on St. Lawrence. You know, I'm out there 8-pound and 6-pound line, like, find out my buddy's over here jacking them on straight braid with a spinning rod. I'm like, are you kidding me? He's like, dude, they're bedding. They don't matter. I'm like,
that's a TikTok right there.
I don't know. I don't ever come up here and smallmouth fish. And I was like, but I know now.
Okay, let me ask you, what's of all the places you've gotten to fish, whether it be tournament or fun fish or whatever, what's your favorite place?
Man, St. Lawrence.
Yeah, I kind of figured you were going to go up
there. Dude, my very first cast ever on St. Lawrence was last year. I literally just pulled out on this flat, and I seen a boulder on my 360, and first cast, I got that fish in the boat. I turned around and I actually sent a picture, I think, to Jason Williamson. I said, you got to be kidding me. My very first cast on St. Lawrence caught a 6.5-pounder. And I was like, this is crazy. Then I caught one that was, the last day of practice was almost, I think, 6.14 or something. It was pushing 7 on a spy bait. And I was like, this is crazy.
I love hearing you guys talk about that. I have not got up there yet.
Man, I'm telling you, it's when they open those waters up, and I think it's the beginning of July.
Yeah,
you need to be there when they're on beds. It is just absolutely insane. We're actually going to Champlain this year with the pro circuit,
right?
And I think I'm actually going to take 2 weeks off to go. And the week before we fish Champlain, I'm going to fish out on the lake up there.
That good.
Whole week. Just go ahead and lay into them and have some fun.
Okay. All right. Then let's go the opposite of all the places you've had to fish in a tournament or whatever. What is the worst lake you've ever fished?
Eufaula, Oklahoma.
And the NPFL likes that lake. They've been there a couple of times, have they not?
Every organization likes a lake that pays you.
That's true. Okay.
Right. There are other reasons that they fish those lakes
I say,
other than the quality of the fish.
Yeah. No organization goes anywhere because of the quality of the fish.
And I knew better once that came out of my damn mouth, and he said that. I'm like, yeah, Danny, you're right. You've heard that. But
hey, one thing you learn, I don't bite my tongue. Hey, nothing against the NPFL by any means.
Right.
I mean, Bassmaster does the same thing. I mean, like, who the hell wants to go to Sabine all the time?
That's exactly what come to my mind when you said that.
Yeah, I mean, but honestly, I joke about Eufaula. I actually get a shot back at Eufaula this year. I mean, the conditions we had last year, it was 10 foot high and in the damn parking lot, Yeah. So hopefully it'll be better this year when I go back, and I'll have I'll think better about the place, obviously.
Okay, well, maybe like that. But it doesn't surprise me that came out of your mouth. like when you said that, yeah, that was one of my 3 choices, he might say right there. Let me ask you this, because this will help us 3 too. So you probably never fished Lake Notley up here, and that's where we're going to be fishing Saturday in our tournament. It's got spots and largemouth and all that, but it's got some monster largemouth. But they draw that damn thing down like it's a TVA lake. They draw it down. It's 9 foot low, even still right now. Have you ever had to change what you do normally on a lake that that fluctuates like that? It's high in the summer, low in the winter. Does it change your mindset on where those bass might be setting up? Because the water ain't starting to come up yet, but the bass got to be up shallow.
Yeah, I mean, depending on what that water temperature is right now, they got to be up shallow. I don't know what your bait fish is in there. Is it herring or shad or what? But
it's got herring in it. But
how where they're at in the spawn process right now. But I mean, at the same time, if it's still going to be a while before they typically bring that water level back up, you know, going off of years past, you know, obviously I wouldn't have any experience, so I wouldn't know. Will they still spawn before it comes up, or do they wait till it comes up? At the same time, though, depending on what structure's there, I'm going to start out shallow, of course.
Right.
Now, if it's one that's constantly going up and down, I'm going to be looking for them bluffs, obviously, because they're going to be on something that they can easily go up and down on.
Yeah.
That was I was getting ready to ask you that question too. How do you fish a lake that rises and falls so quick, especially around the spawn?
Yep.
Because we've got Carter's Lake up here, but it has a re-reg lake. They pump out and pump back in. It's small. It's about 1,000 acres, and a lot of the electric only clubs go out there and fish. And it's got spots and largemouth in it, but they draw it down so often that in my mind I'm like, how do fish spawn?
Well, it's the same thing. It's the same thing like we deal with here at the house. We have, Santee's my home pond. Santee's actually an hour from my house. Where I live at, I have 3 tidal rivers, and they're all tannic water. It looks just like St. John's and Harris Chain, all that. You know, it's tea color water, but it's tidal water. I mean, it's, you know, every 12 hours it's going to shift, and it's going to shift 1.5 foot, 2.5 foot, whatever. You know, and that's the thing about that is where do those fish go to spawn?
Right.
And you got to find those areas that when the bottom does drop out to go to low tide, that they're still going to have cover. They're still going to have sunlight, because no matter what, they got to have that sunlight. You know, on a place like more of a highland lake like that, you find those bluffs that's got a shelf. That's where they should be at. I mean, if they're constantly dropping it about like it is with us with the tidal water, every 12 hours dropping, that I would think that's where they would be.
Okay. Now
Now I'll tell you that, and I'll show up and go skip docks all day long.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm like that. Now Patricia earlier in the show mentioned something about we got a full moon coming in, and I meant to ask you then, how much attention do you personally pay as an angler to the full moon when it comes to the spawn, stuff like that? Do you think it's more length of days, water temp? What triggers it in your mind?
I mean, you know, some people always say, "Oh, the moon ain't got nothing to do with it." Well, I don't care what you say. Through the years, you'll see more bass bedding during the full moon than you do, a crescent moon. I mean, it's just hands down. I mean, that's what I've seen with my personal eyes through the years.
Right.
At the same time, though, what I always say matters is the warm nights. The cold nights is what keeps that water from not warming up to where it needs to be. When you start getting those warm nights continuously and that full moon, it's about to be money. I mean, they're coming.
That's what we've had here recently, Tim. Kevin,
Yes.
we finally had some warm nights.
Yeah, every morning I've got up and walked outside. It's like it's not nippy. I don't need a jacket.
No,
I
it's
think
good
it's
weather.
like 60, 62.
Yeah,
in the morning.
Yeah, we're not going to be cold Saturday morning launching. I'll have to bundle up and wait till it warms up.
And when that water temp gets to 60, I don't care what, like, you better start looking, because they're coming. I mean, from 60 to 65, then, you know, like today it was 72 to 74 out there where I was at. And I'm just over there. I'm over there, look like Dave Chappelle over there ready to throw a frog, you know.
He's over there geeking out.
I'm like, oh, there's some gator grass. Throw a frog over there. And I'm like, oh. But it hadn't quite got right yet for the frog bite, but it's coming.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, let me ask you this, and again, there's some people that are pro bed fish and some people are against it. Let's just say you're in a tournament, big money, and you got 2 on the bed, and they haven't started the rolling yet, but you got that little buck bass right there. How many times you let that joker, or do you let him, take it off? Do you have like a process that you go through to try to finally get to, the big girl to bite?
Yeah. I tried, as I say, the hero or zero. I tried that a while back in that bullcrap dual threat tournament down at St. John's.
He brought it up for the first time, not me.
I swung for the fences on day one down there on a spot that I ain't gonna lie, I zeroed. And I was like, this sucks. Well, the next day I went and I found 2 beds 50 yards apart. And there was one, the first bed had one I know was over 10. The male that was with her, I think, was 4.5, 5 pounds. I caught him, and then I eased down, was going to let her set back up, got to the next bed, and I was like, holy crap. It was pretty much the same scenario. It looked like she was about a 9 probably, and buck was about the same size as the one I had. So I called him, and then I went back to the other bed. And they never would get right. They just kept on making a big circle. And I was like, well, I already got one in the box. I was like, I'm going to have over 30 if I can catch these 2 fish with the 3 that I got in the box. So I said, you know what? I got down to an hour left, and I sent them back in. It looked like I was turning dogs loose on an old buck. I sent them bucks back in there. The female still didn't get right. And I said, well, looks like I ain't gonna be a hero today. But no, I love bed fishing, no doubt. I mean, I've had people in the boat with me, whether it was a co-angler or a partner, and they're just like, good God, dude, you ain't come across one yet you couldn't catch. And I mean, I've got a little tricks, and a lot of people know the same tricks, I mean, like today, I seen one when I was on the phone with Bo from Bojangles. He called me, and I was like, oh, there's one right there. And I said, you know what? I ain't seen another one within 300 yards. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and jack this little buck bass. Come to find out, he was like 3.5, 4 pounds. He wasn't little. But I flipped in there, and he kind of went around the tree, and I was like, he ain't acting too aggressive. And I was like, I reeled it in, and I flipped back in there. When I flipped back in there, he come across that bed, and I snatched it. Popped him right in the tail. And when I did, he spun around, I mean, like that. And he nosed down on it. I said, yeah, I'm about to catch him. About time, doing. I was like, that's one thing. If you can't get them to lock in on it, put you about a 3/4 weight on. Flip that thing in there. And when they get right there at it, pop them one good time with it and hit them.
Oh, like trigger that aggressiveness out of them.
Yep. That will tick them off. And I'm telling you, they will spin around 180 and nose down on it. You got their attention then.
I got you. Is there any not secret, but is there a particular way you approach those fish? Do you keep a distance when you're trying to do things like that? Or is there really no rules? You just let the fish tell you what you're doing.
Well, I mean, obviously you want to try to stay as far back as possible. Sometimes that don't happen. Sometimes you be trolling along, when I'm looking for beds, I've got that power pole move. I got it cranked down to like 8 or 9, depending, if it's windy, then I got to turn it up. But if I see them, I don't hit the power poles. I just keep right on going. I mentally make a note, and I'll circle back around to them, let them get set back up. But I try to stay off of them, especially right now on Santee, as clear as it is. Good Lord. They can see you from a mile away.
Yeah.
If I do fish that tournament Saturday, like I'm running that new stainless steel prop on that move. Something I've noticed with that clear water, they see me coming with that thing because it's so tiny.
You think so?
I honestly believe so. I'm going to put my regular black plastic one back on. Because that thing, I'm like, dude, there's no way they can see me coming from that. I know it's crystal clear, but I'm like, there's no way they feel my presence that far away. But they do. Like, I can literally see them out there starting to ease off the bed. And I'm like, they're seeing this thing prop.
It's probably giving a flash off when it's running.
Yeah.
It'd have to be.
Okay, but we've been doing this podcast for 7 years, and that is the first time the color of a prop has ever been brought up on this show.
I honestly, if you're fishing shallow on a sunny day like that, I'm telling you, I honestly feel like right now with fish bedding, I said, I'm going to go out and try it tomorrow. I'm putting my black prop on tonight, and I'm going to try it tomorrow. But I honestly feel like that's what they're seeing. They're seeing the flash of that prop.
Shoot me a messenger tomorrow after you do that. Let me know if it made a difference. Because I'm genuinely curious now because we've never even discussed anything like that. And it makes sense. I mean, I can see it.
I mean, granted, yes, we got the same stainless steel prop on our motor, but it's on the back of the boat. They're not seeing that as you're coming toward them,
right?
But I mean, for you to be, a cast from them, and you can physically see those fish up there in 2-3 foot of water easing off that sand spot. There's something spooking them, and I honestly feel like that's what it is.
Okay.
I picked up on that last week when I was practicing, and I never did change the prop over before the tournament, which I don't think it really mattered. The wind was blowing 35 mile an hour, but still, I mean, we were able to jack them. So
now, to me, Tim, Kevin, that the differences, and I said this before, the difference between a good angler, good local angler, and then guys that can fish pro level and stuff like that is details. And that's just a detail that we don't even consider.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Guys are thinking on that level, like, okay, what's spooking this fish?
Yeah.
Damn, it might be the color of my prop. We don't ever
the flash of it. It's a ping shy fish. People don't think about, hey,
it's just good for grass, those aluminum props and stainless steel. We fished them back in Kissimmee back in the 80s and 90s, made out of aluminum for motor guide trolling motors. Guy in Kissimmee made them.
So they chop through the grass?
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. But let me ask you, Kevin, you've been fishing a long time. Have you ever thought once, though, in your life about the color of your...
Not a bit.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's very... I find it interesting.
I've never had anything but like a black one, so I guess it didn't really come up.
And I couldn't afford them pretty shiny props, right?
Yeah, that's out of my budget.
What I would say is that thing's definitely it's polished just like a Mercury Bravo prop, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's got a lab finish on it.
All right, now we're going to get his opinion on the Warren Barnes bedfish with the bucks and all that. We've had a gentleman on here before. Now, granted, we're talking spotted bass, but he believes this with all his heart, that when you get those bucks up first thing and they're making the bed, the females are hanging back 8-10 foot of water. They're in the area, but they haven't quite decided who they're going to go have relations with. He says that if you'll throw up there and you'll let that buck grab it, if you pay attention, he will often swim back towards the boat. Don't set the hook on him, and he'll drop it. He said what they're doing is, and he swears by it, dude, I promise you, they're going to a female and they're courting her. Have you ever heard anything like that?
I had never heard that, but I wouldn't put it past a dumb spotted bass. I mean,
they don't think with their brains anyway. They're like,
them spotted basses burn me so many. I've been to Clark Hill, like, you know, as I go up there and fish with Dustin Williamson, and dude, I've been up there, and it's like every time I go, I finish one spot out of the money. Like, I went with him one day, and we ended up catching him on brush piles with a jig, and I'm like, thank God we're not ditch fishing. We catch like 22 pounds, and he's like, you finally gonna get you a check on Clark Hill? And I'm over there like, hell yeah. We get up there, they're like 28 pounds, 27, 26, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now? One spot out the money with 22 pounds. I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even talk to nobody. I got a damn truck and left. I said, I'm the heck with this dang place. I said, you catch 22 pounds on Clark Hill and don't get paid? That's ridiculous.
I got a feeling you probably said something a little more colorful.
Probably.
Just because guys are still trying to answer Kevin's question over there. But John G, he said floating chickens and all. They're talking about ducks. But because I seen the word floating, do you ever mess with a floating worm this time of year? The methylates and all that?
Methylate and old bubble gum.
Okay. How do you set those up? Do you a lot of guys around here will put like a swivel and then 18 inches of line with that thing so they can keep it down. They'll Texas rig them. Some of them are twisted a little bit and all that. How do you throw your floating worm?
I mean, I typically like a swivel on it, but I mean, now that Gamakatsu's got that hook out with a built-in swivel, was a Hydra something. Yeah. Shoot, that's a game changer right there.
So out there on Santee with the grass and all that, is that a bait? Some guys if we just wanted to go fun fish this time of year right now.
Honestly, I mainly throw that on the tidal rivers down here,
on the tannic water and stuff like that.
Now, don't get me wrong, I know guys that they'll still throw it up around trees, stuff like that. You know, I mean, like a lot of guys are still wacky worm or trick worm. Me personally, I ain't got the patience for wacky worm or trick worm. I mean, it just give me a Cinco and.
Gotcha. I got you. I like
that. I'm hoping those new baits are going to have the same fall rate. that
I'm
I seen last year when I seen them in the little tank. So
yeah. That have you seen them yet, Tim?
I have
you seen-
not. I've
So
seen all the teaser photos, but I haven't seen the baits.
and you've laid your eyes on them, right, Skeeter? You've
yeah,
actually seen them.
I got 20 packs right outside the office here on the boat right now.
So just to describe it, it's kind of like they got bulb. It's a Cinco kind of like with bulbs on both end, pretty much, right?
I'll grab one real quick.
You need to see this. This is
You need our address?
well, I got you guys some. I got you guys some coming.
Got us a care package coming.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. Every one of you guys on the podcast, I got you a pack of the worm and one of the new swim baits. Now I get the best colors, but I got you.
I was
guys
gonna
some
say
others.
I want whatever the winning color is.
Yeah, you got to check these things out. I'm curious. Is that?
That's the pack right there. They come in with like a little plastic cup in there to hold them.
Yeah.
But that thing.
Look at this, Tim. See, look at it. It's got those balls, those bulbs on the end.
Oh yeah, I can see where that makes a difference.
When I seen it that time, like I said, he'd drop it down in there, dude, and that thing, I mean, it would just pendulate like that right there. And I was like, ooh.
Butterflying, minion like that.
Yep. Now I seen him say something the other day about doing a Nico rig, and it looked like he cut that off, cut one bulb off. So, and then had the weight down here. That way, this bulb here would stay up.
Does it float? Does the bulb float?
I don't know. That's why I'm gonna play with it though. Over the next couple of weeks before we go to Douglas, I'm gonna play with it to see.
I can't wait to get my hands on them. I got told mine to be here, and of course, y'all's will be here next week. So,
I mean, it seems like
if that little bulb floats, that's gonna be the pill right there.
I don't know if it does or not, but it's got to add more action on it on a regular whack than a regular whack.
I mean, it feels.
I bet it does this just the whole way down.
I'm getting salt all over my fingers, so it's got plenty of salt in it. And I mean, that's the main thing is.
Yeah.
You can't
it'll sink. Yeah.
Yep. So it'll sink, and you don't want to have too much salt that it's constantly tearing from skipping. Because I know Drew's. If I ain't mistaken, if I remember correctly, Drew does it just like me. I don't throw an O-ring.
I don't either.
I take a number 1 stinger hook, G finesse, and right through the middle it goes. I don't want no O-ring in there, and if I sling it off, I sling it off.
Yeah, I'm too lazy for all that. Just hook it and sling it.
Yeah. Yep. The only time I ever use an O-ring is if I'm standing off a point and we got to stay off of it, and I got to make a bomb-ass cast way up there with a spinner rod or something. That is the only time. Any other time, I just think they're a waste of time. They're going to break with the O-ring too.
Oh yeah.
Especially if you're using Yamamoto's and stuff, because that's what I've always used. All right. Okay, we're getting close to the end. I know you're tired. You've been fishing though, so I purposely waited to the very end of the show, and I did this on purpose. We know a lot of people saw your videos on the dual threat stuff, and everybody knows what has gone on in that, so we don't even need to rehash it. But can you give us an update as to where it is in? I guess you want to say the investigation, or have you heard anything?
All I know, we've all sent our info and stuff to a lawyer over in Alabama. He's trying to get all that together. I've talked back and forth, me and Scott Martin. Scott's also got with the law down there in Okeechobee. They are pressing charges. By my understanding, all it takes is one to press charges, and then they pick up all of us.
Yeah.
To build more charges onto him. And then I also kind of heard that supposedly the FBI is getting involved now. So I myself, like I told you earlier, I kind of stepped back from it. I mean, granted, it was $10,000 that we won at Okeechobee, but at the same time, I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and let this freaking dig a hole in my life over $10,000.
Right.
No, I wouldn't either.
Heck, I got a customer today who's trying to screw me out of $10,000. I'm just like, I told the guy while I was on the water, I said, well, just be ready. We'll be placing a lien on your home next week. So, it is what it is. But, I mean, that's water under the bridge,
Right.
You can't let that ruin everything about you. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm sure you've seen me and Keith and Slick and everything. And, I mean, I think everybody kind of knows what me and Keith would like to do. But,
yes.
Like we said, hey, I'm 44 years old now. I got kids and everything else. You know, maybe 20 years ago, it'd been a different story. I would have took old Mike and Ultra out there and went to his behind or something. But you know, that's what's wrong with today's world. Guys like that, they get away with stuff like that. If somebody like us was to, you know, get our hands on him and do something, we're the bad guy then, you know.
100%. All right. So, okay, real quick, Kevin, because I'm getting ready to end the show. Ask your question one more time.
I have a question for him. One more.
Yeah, but we'll do that. But tell everybody the question on the duck thing, because hell, nobody's coming close.
All right. Bassmaster Pro Will Davis loves to duck hunt. What other term does he refer ducks to?
Okay, so there you go. Now we're gonna ask the Skeeter a couple more questions, so you guys better get your answer quick. Or
Danny, he mentioned a lot of baits tonight. Skeeter did.
Yeah.
But you didn't mention a spinnerbait. Is there a reason for that?
No, not really. I mean, I still throw a spinnerbait. Don't get me wrong. Matter of fact, the other day first day of practice at Wheeler and it was snowing. You know, the day before I was in shorts and flip flops on Gunnersville throwing the chatterbait, catching them, and next morning it's snowing. I actually picked up spinnerbait and like first cast absolutely throttled it, and I was like, oh my God, I haven't felt a bite like that, and I don't know when. But like on Santee, we can't really throw it no more. The water's so daggone clear. You know, back when it was muddy, we had one. There was a color called Santee Special, and that's all I threw. Had to have a gold and a silver blade, and you had to, when you brought it by that tree, it had to hit that tree. If you didn't hit that tree, you were snapping it to make them blades flutter. But I love a spinnerbait. Don't get me wrong. It's just right now with Santee, the water's so daggone clear.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a stained or brown water bait all day.
Oh yeah,
that makes sense though too. That's a good question, Kevin. But now that you've asked it, he talked about it. Of course, putting all the clear water in, because you said it's a changing fishery.
Yep, I've got 1 ounce spit. Like I don't throw nothing smaller than a 3/4, like little 3/8 and half ounce. I tell them that's for sissies. You know, I want a 3/4. A real man throws a 3/4 or 1 ounce, and it's going to have number 6, number 7 willows on it. I mean, that thing, your rod tips like it's a Colorado blade on it.
You know, that's the largemouth fisherman in him. That's growing up on a big largemouth lake and stuff like that for sure.
Oh yeah, they like him big thumping blades coming by.
Ain't nobody throwing that on Lanier.
Dude, back when we had, you know, muddy water or colored water, you take that 1 ounce and throw that thing out there, and you line up 2 brush piles that was built out of center blocks with wax myrtles like this and run it right down the middle of it. And when they hit that thing, I mean, it's just boom, like you hit a wall. You just like, oh God, it'd be a 6-7 pounder. But I mean, that's what you had to throw those type of baits. You couldn't throw no little half ounce little old daggone booyah down there. That ain't gonna do it.
Listen, Tom is not going to give up the Bigfoot. You just said banging balls. That seems to work, like when looking for Bigfoot, right there. So, with that comment, we're actually gonna call it a night right there. So nobody has won it. What's the answer, Kevin? Yeah, I want to know what the hell everybody.
I can't believe nobody. I even put in the comments. I said easiest question of the year,
and I even put a clue in it.
Well, hell, I couldn't figure it out. What is it?
Clue is Bassmaster. If you read your Bassmaster magazine March edition 2026, on the hook was Will Davis. He refers to ducks as jets, Jets. He loves to see those jets coming in.
I kind of feel let down by the answer.
That's how easy it was.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm like, I thought it might be something good as jets.
Well, there's been all sorts of wild ass answers, and I've been reading the comments.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and read these comments tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's pretty rough.
So anyway, so again, hey, listen, Skeeter. Number one, thank you for coming on the show. I know
Thank you for having me.
No, and I'd like to get you back on there because, listen, first of all, I do appreciate your honesty when you just basically say it like it is and all that, and you know, we'd like to, you know, once you've been on the show, we like to follow the guys that's been on the show, and we'll keep up with you doing all that. But definitely want to learn more about Santee and those kind of lakes and stuff like that. Because again, sometimes we get too tunnel visioned on Lake Lanier, Allatoona, and those, and we have to realize that they're, within 4 hours of where we're at.
Yep.
Gunnersville this way, Sandy Cooper that way. You got Tennessee that. We got some great lakes that we need to learn a lot more about. And so I appreciate you coming on and doing that.
That's one of the things right there I used to do. I'd wake up on a Saturday morning at 3 a.m. and get in my truck. And I literally look at Google Maps and go, what's within 3 to 4 hours of me that I could drive to this morning and be there by 7, 8 o'clock and be on the water. And I just was show up to a random lake, like Lake Russell. Never went there in my life. Got there at 7:30 that morning and absolutely cracked them that day. And I was like, damn, I kind of like this place.
Yeah.
And that's something I always like to do. And honestly, I haven't done it much the last 2 years.
Right.
Traveling so much, but that's something I used to do all the time. Just literally get up, get in the truck at 3, look at the map and go, I'm going here.
I like it. Absolutely like that. We'll end up on that comment. She's going to do a damn Elton John, Benny and the Jets. So there you go. That's a good.
I'm just glad to meet somebody else that ties the pits and knots.
I'm going to go learn that because I've seen that. I've seen guys do that. And I'm sitting there thinking that might as well be the damn FG for me when they start spinning that shit and all that. And I'm like,
I started breaking off on the Palomar. I mean, if you did a hard hook set, and it's probably my fault for tiling the Palomar wrong on fluorocarbon, but it got to where it was killing me. And I'm like, obviously, I cannot figure this out. And when I found that knot, it's like, it works.
Gotcha.
That's what Tony ties too.
Okay.
Does he?
Y'all bunch of bougie asses. That's why y'all tie the knots.
Bougie knot tied.
Bougie ass knot tying, FG, Pinson knot tying, jokers.
Damn, soccer out of Shan having.
Yeah. I had to learn the FG because I use a lot of rods with some very small guides.
Yep.
And if you tie anything else, you go to cast and it'll hit one of them damn things and you'll spool more damn line off.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
And just ruin your damn reel inadvertently.
So, all right. So anyway, Tim, Kevin, thank you as always. Skeeter, seriously, I enjoyed the conversation. I want you to come back.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I'd love to get you in our regular rotation and all that because you're good.
I'll have to come up there one day and we'll all go out on Lanier. Y'all show me something up there.
Heck yeah. Spotted Bass Disneyland.
I listen, I'm the king of the 2-pound spots. If you want something like Truly, we need to get a meal or one of them and all that. But we'd have a hell of a time doing it. I can tell you that for sure. So that's all it's about. So appreciate you guys listening. If you're going out on the water this weekend, number one, be careful. Okay, that's the big thing. We want you guys to come back again for a later show. And again, if you ain't got nothing to do Saturday, come and donate your money up on Lake Notley to me and Rob. And like these guys are going to be doing.
Come kick mine, Kevin, and everybody else's butt. Come on, bring it.
That'll be a good time. But biggest thing is get outside. It's Easter weekend too. So, you guys know what that's about. I'll be doing the sunrise service. I'm on Fish Hard on Saturday. We'll be doing the sunrise services Sunday morning and all that. But anyway, enjoy your family, enjoy your time outdoors, enjoy your time fishing, whatever it is. But most of all, be safe so we can see you on the next one. You guys be good. We are